Our next performer here is Mr. Alan Wiggz.
Woo! Yeah!
And he is looking quite dapper in his necktie here. Is that a clip-on, sir?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Double windsor. All of them.
Take it away.
Just a little bit of eye candy for you neck aficionados there.
Oh, baby.
Oh! Tie it up.
Harder. Tighter.
Seriously, we need some taller samurai.
And taller, definitely.
I brought notes up this time, so y'all actually think I prepared. Joke's on you. But, so it's the end of the year, and I have decided I am not going to actually talk to you about the sort of things that I've been through this year, mainly because I've had a pretty fantastic 2012, and none of you want to hear that.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But I'm acutely aware of the fact that a lot of people didn't. And going through this year, I keep coming back on kind of a single emotion, a word, and that word is doubt. And it's a time for reflection at this point in the year. And as I reflect back on the year that I've looked at, the year that I've experienced, the theme that I keep coming back to, and I'm sorry that it's not quite as personal and probably not quite as funny as some of the people are talking about here, but I have to stand up here and be the samurai resident college professor because our college professor up and moved to Denver. So the theme that I have built of the past year is the demonization of doubt and the crystallization of certainty. And by way of an introduction into that theme, the other night I saw the new Quentin Tarantino flick, which has a lot going for it, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who enjoys being repulsed by violence. It's a movie that'll move you on a lot of levels, but because of what I've been thinking about, it made me reflect on a couple of ideas. And one of those is that at a lot of points in this nation's history, we have chosen to let go of doubt in favor of certainty, and it has almost always been to our downfall. We had a situation at that time in our history in which people felt that, not just felt, they were certain, they knew to the core of their being that there was part of this nation that was destined to be inferior to the rest. That there were a few people that could hold power over all of the people that were around them, and that this was the natural order of things. Now, I don't need to stand up here before you and talk to you about how the history of our nation is a history of class struggle and the few oppressing the many. We have Howard Zinn for that. What I do want to bring into light a little bit is that this was something that was perpetrated by the crystallization of certainty. And that's something that we're seeing again today. You had a race of people that had the double-barreled gun of religion and science turned against them for the better part of 300 years in this country. Because it was not enough for us to have an underclass, but we had to make sure that everyone understood that that underclass deserved to be an underclass. And the only way that we could know this was to either never ask hard questions of ourselves or have such ready answers that no one dared oppose them. We're coming into another situation like that today in this society, and I think not enough people recognize it. In the past year, I have seen politics so admired that when Nate Silver does a math problem and he gives you 9 months to check his work, you are still surprised by the answer. In this country, we are suffering from a deficit of doubt. Doubt is a word that people give a really bad rap to. If you have doubts about something, it's not just that you don't believe it, it's that you don't like it. If you are doubtful, then that says not just something about what you see, but who you are. Nobody wants to be a doubting Thomas. Though in my opinion, Thomas had more sense than all 12 apostles put together.
Thank you!
Except maybe one, because at least Judas got a payday out of the entire gig. You don't use doubt when the status quo is working out for you. You don't have doubt about your situation if 4 generations of your family have lived on the same farm and have made their money off of the backs of the same people. You don't have a lot of doubt if every shilling that you make comes off of a boat that's selling opium into China, and damned if their government has the right to refuse to sell that to their people. You don't have a lot of room for doubt when you work for Blue Cross Blue Shield and that money is paying for your kids' meals, also the meals for your dressage horse and fuel for your yacht. But obviously, you know, and you are absolutely certain that socialized medicine would be the downfall of America. It can't be any other way, because if it is, then your identity, your life, your very existence is called into question, and questioning is not something that our country is very good at right now. There's phases like this all through history. I'm not trying to say that this cycle of doubt and uncertainty is part of America in particular. I'm pretty sure that Christopher Columbus, God rest his racist soul, had a fair amount of doubt, because normally if you're in Europe and you're trying to get to Asia, you don't think, hey, maybe I'll go west. You don't discover things unless you doubt that you know everything about the world. But today, we are in a lot of danger, because one of the words of 2012, because this is one of those things that they make lists about if you're a linguist, is big data. We live in a world that is circumscribed by facts and described by data. Everywhere you go, your phone knows it and tells somebody about it. We each have more files on us than even the most disloyal citizen in East Berlin in 1967. There is more information being gathered about every person on this earth today than was ever written about the most famous people in history. And yet, we still can't predict the outcome of an election. We still can't figure out whether the Higgs boson that they found is actually the Higgs boson or something else. More facts do not mean more insight. Facts are not a substitute for knowledge. And if you have a prior conception, facts do not give you certainty. Facts can only take certainty away. So instead, if you have a stake, if you have a pre-existing preconception, then you need to ignore facts or twist them or pick and choose. Somebody once said that you can have your own opinion, but no one is entitled to their own facts. I'm pretty sure that if whoever said that isn't already dead, that 2012 killed him. We're coming to the end of the year that saw the solution to gun control being armed guards in schools. We're coming to the end of a year that decided that everyone in the country is either part of the 1% or the 47%, and you know that math is even easier to do than Nate Silver's. We're coming to the end of the year that makes us realize that you cannot base the way that you look at the world on what you know. You have to base it on what you don't. Because doubt, more than anything else, is an admission of ignorance. And in this world of facts, it's hard to admit that no matter how educated you are, no matter what think tanks you consult, no matter how many books you read, even if they're on your iPad, you are never not going to be ignorant. And the sooner that you admit your ignorance, the sooner you will be able to pursue knowledge instead of facts. The sooner you're going to be able to maybe not just doubt what you see, not just doubt what people tell you, not just doubt what you learned at the pulpit or on your school desk, but doubt yourself. Doubt your own convictions. Because God damn it, no one in Congress is. No one on TV doubts it. No one on MSNBC or Fox News doubts that they have all the answers. There are a fuckload more answers in this world than questions today, and that does not add up. The sooner you will admit that you are wrong, or at least might be wrong, the sooner you will at least have a chance to end up right. So as we go into 2013, please, I am begging you, America, get the fuck over yourselves.
All right, short person again. You know, I've been to a couple of these things, and the interesting thing about the samurai is you get people up here like Alan or even Mikey who will fold something into his story that will make you think. There's a point, you know, something that I hope that you folks can leave with tonight and kind of ponder and think about. But I doubt it. They weren't thinking. All right, our next victim.